Hey everybody, this is Linda with Ink Stamp and Scrap, and you're watching the recap for my Facebook workshop that I did live on Wednesday, November 11th. We made these 3 projects and I took you through step by step, giving you tips and tricks along the way. So I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks a lot for watching. It's Linda with Ink Stamp and Scrap. As you're coming in, please let me know you're here. Excited to have you tonight. I have 3 cool projects to share with you, some new and different things. Hopefully you'll learn a little and have a good time. Hey Alice, I'm so glad you're here. Hi Michelle, nice to see you. Michelle, let me know if you got your download situation taken care of. I was kind of hoping to hear that you were able to download the new 12 Weeks of Christmas that I sent you. Hi, Kathy. Nice to see you. All right. Let me bring this up so I can see what's going on. Cool. All right. Thank you all for being here. You can see right here, these are the projects we're going to work on tonight. I realized that a couple weeks ago, I titled the workshop The Right Angle, or The Right Triangle, I guess is what this is called. And then I looked at the projects, and yeah, we did use a few dies, but we really didn't capitalize on the whole bundle. So we're going to do a little bit more of that tonight. This is the bundle that we're going to work with. I do have some, other stamp sets that we're going to use and some things that we're going to revisit. Hi, Kathy. Glad we could all be here too. A couple hours ago, I wasn't so sure if you're not intimately watching the Florida weather situation. We had a nice little Category 1 hurricane blow through a couple hours ago. It had just dropped down to a tropical storm as it came onto the Sarasota coast. So, yeah, it was pretty lively around 5 o'clock, but things are doing much better. So, hi, Alice. Glad you're here. So, anyway, I'm glad that you all are here to join me and that I was able to go live, and we've had no flickering lights, so I think we're going to be okay. Hi, Sue. Glad you're here. All right, I'm going to dive right in, but I do have some questions for you. I actually have a piece of paper, just off camera here, of things that I wanted to ask you guys. The first is, yesterday, we got to download, thanks, Sue. We got to download the new mini catalog and the celebration catalog, and they're fabulous, you guys. They're so cool. And I can't show you anything because I'm only allowed to show you the cover if I'm holding it, which is the rules for Stampin' Up. And I don't have it. I only have it digitally, not physically. So I'm just really curious. What are you hoping to see? Because I can get kind of a sense of what you're looking for and then kind of gear my purchases towards things like that. So I'm curious, what are you looking to see? What are you hoping will be the theme of a stamp set? Are you lacking in birthdays or phrases or flowers, or do you not want any more flowers, so you're looking for other things? Are we looking for kids? Are we looking for older stuff? What are we looking for? So that's my first general question, and I would love for everybody in here to just take a second and type one thing that's on your wish list that you hope you see. And with that, I'm going to start with our tag for tonight. So I just got done telling you this is all about triangles, and believe it or not, so is this. And I'm going to show you exactly how that works out. I have 2 really cool tips for you with this project. All right, the first thing I have is I want to show you, I don't want this to glare too much. Yes, these are some very well-loved acrylic pads. They are not from Stampin' Up, but I got them for free, and so I use them, and that's what I just grabbed. But they still work perfectly. I want to show you, here we go. I'm going to pull out. So I want to show you how I made this tag. That's the word I'm looking for. I used the largest, whatever triangle this is. It's not an isosceles triangle, and it's not a right triangle. I guess it is kind of is it a right? No, it's not really a right triangle either. Anyway, but anyway, the largest of that shaped triangle. And I used the 4th largest rectangle from the rectangle dies. So the way that you get this to work is the first thing I did was take my Whisper White cardstock and I ran it through my die cutting machine like this. And then I took this die on just one plate, and I have my magnetic platform, and I put it like this, and then I brought it down. Maybe I did use a different one. Shoot, I want to show you exactly what I did. I know I played around with this quite a bit, and then I was happy with it, and maybe I did use the isosceles triangle. Oh, I did. Okay, so it goes this way. All right, so then what I did is I lined it up so that, here, let me do it on this side. Here we go. Sorry. But I just think this is really cool, and I think this will just open up a whole world for you if you know you can do this. So I put the die on just like that, and I made sure that it was in the middle. So both of these triangles looked even. I made sure this is straight, this is parallel to this, and then I just took a little bit of painter's tape and put it right there. Now, if I just run this through, if I put my plate on and run this through, very aware it's going to make a mess. That's not going to accomplish what I want. But because I only want it to cut to here, if I run it through with my pad any lower than where these two hit, it's only going to cut down to here. So it's just going to trim off those two corners, because this is, or sorry, I'm doing it the wrong way. If I put it here, it's going to cut these two. It's not going to cut down here. This is what I want to avoid. So as long as the top cutting acrylic plate or cutting pad, whichever way you call it, is not covering the die, then it can't cut. It's not thick enough. It just slides right through the die cut machine. So that is what I did to make these tags. So I did use one of the right triangles. And now we are going to use a stamp set that I really enjoyed at the beginning, which was the, is it the banner here? I have it underneath that stack over there, but I'm going to be pulling lots of stuff out tonight. So I want to try and stay semi-organized here. All right. So I wanted to show you how I created the tag. That was step one. Then, okay, Sue told me that the new Dragonfly stamp set looks great. Yes, there are demonstrators posting from that because there was a demonstrator event that Stampin' Up! Posted. I wasn't able to attend that, so I don't have samples for you, but I will. The Dragonfly is not, I have to say, very high on my list, but I do know that if you like dragonflies, it's a really cool Dragonfly stamp set. All right, let's do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my triple detail punch, and I'm going to slide this in all the way and just kind of eyeball that it's centered. There's a line right here, and I'm just kind of lining it up there. Push down. There we go. We have a hole in the center. I'm going to put that over here. Oh, no, I'm not, because it's going to make a mess. Okay. And now, so I showed you how to do this, and now I'm going to show you how to get your Santa hats really perfect. For that, we need the Stamparatus. So what I did is I took, where's my, here it is. I just took a piece of cellophane and I die cut a bunch of my snowman hats, and then I have my snowman over here. Snowman, why am I calling that Santa hat? And it's lined up to stamp right down there. But the reason I know it's perfectly lined up is a lot of trial and error. So what I did is I took a piece of cellophane just like this. It's actually a package I use for sending out make and take kits, but it works. And I just took my, actually for when I was doing this, I was just using, actually I'm going to do that because I like being able to reuse this. So it doesn't matter what color I'm ultimately going to do the Santa's hat in. I'm going to do the testing for it with Sahara Sand because it's a lighter stamp in color and it's just easier. Now this should line up just perfect, or I've really messed up. There it is. But if it didn't, now I can move this around, and all I have to do is take my favorite green cloth and wipe this away, and then I can move this, ink it up, and try it again. Now that I know this is all lined up nice, I can, again, one at a time, pull the magnets because I don't want this white cardstock to move because I know it's lined up just right. So now I'm going to take this away and put this back down so it's not going to move anywhere. I can tuck my cellophane away because I don't need it anymore. And now I'm going to take my towel and wipe the Sahara sand off this stamp. And then I'm going to now open up the Real Red. We'll close this. Oh, I left it open. Oh, that's always a dangerous thing. All right. Good thing I don't have inky fingers yet. All right. I did just wash my hands before we started this. So hopefully it'll go all right. All right. No cellophane there. So now I can take this and stamp it down and it's perfect. How cool is that? So I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool and just gently kind of get underneath there and pop this guy out. And now I have one of the Santa hats that I need for this project. I'm actually going to drop them in a bucket there. So I'm going to show you 2 more times because I have some extra Santa hats here just in case this helps. So I'm putting the Santa hat in, and I'm just going to do this one for you. Just one more time. I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to flip this over, a little bit of pressure, and it lines up perfectly in the die because of the prep work I did with my little sheet of cellophane. And now I can take my Take Your Pick tool and just pick it up. I could use the other, I could actually probably a little smarter to use this end and pick it up. So there we go. And now I'm just going to drop it in my little bin that I have the rest of them in. All right. So that is how you make the Santa's hat. Pretty cool, right? Okay. So I'm going to move this aside because now we need to put our tag together. And actually that punch left a little bit extra over here. So let's just kind of clip this from the side. All right. So one thing I can tell you is that Celebration is going to be just like it has been, in that you spend $50 and you get to pick from the Celebration brochure a free gift. And the gift is going to come in the form of designer series paper and stamps this year. That's what I saw. There are a couple of things that are bundles and bigger stamp sets. The big stamp set is absolutely gorgeous, I have to tell you. But those require $100 purchases. So that's standard with Celebration every year. If you haven't been buying from Stampin' Up! In January, February, or March before, that's when we have Celebration. That's our biggest sale of the year. And it's loads of fun. This year, the big change for those of you that are used to buying during Celebration is that it ends on February 28th. So it only lasts for 2 months. Now you might be thinking, hey, you mentioned that you saw a digital copy of the catalog, but you don't have a physical copy yet. That's true. I'll be getting a physical copy before December 1st from Stampin' Up! And then on December 1st, I can order more copies for you guys. So what I need to know is, do I need to order one for you? You can, if you are on my email list, you got a handy dandy little note in your Tuesday email that told you where you can look to see if you've already qualified for a free catalog. And if your name wasn't on that list, you can simply fill out the Request a New Catalog form that you can find on my website. Just look under the Stampin' Up! Tab, and I will happily pop one in the mail for you. If you want to make sure that you're in the first mailing of the mini catalog and Celebration brochure, I would highly recommend you pop over there before the 15th of December, because that's when I'm targeting mailing them out. I want to make sure you guys have plenty of time to see the catalog. The mini, we're going to air quote that guy, because it is almost 100 pages long. So there is a lot of stuff, which is so cool. I'm so happy about that. But I know that you're going to need some time to look at it and figure it out. So let's see if at the top of the workshop, I asked everybody if there was something that you're hoping to see in the next Stampin' Up! Catalog. Leave a comment, let me see, and maybe you'll get a clue as to whether your wishes are going to come true. All right, so those are on. They're a little off because I wanted them that way, and I am done with my stamping. All of this stuff is coming, it's not coming from that one. No, it is definitely not coming from that one. It's coming, oh, wow, goodness, here we go. It's Little Treats. That's what this is coming from. So this is the Santa hat and the Especially For You from Little Treats, which has that treat box and lots of other cool add-ons. Here it is. This is, I didn't grab the right stamp set, but there's the dies that go with this one. All right, cool. Let's keep going. All right, I am going to use both the Real Red braided ribbon and the Real Red stitched ribbon that comes in the Playful Pets combo pack. All right, so anybody else telling me what they want to see? Haven't seen it yet? Okay, so what about holiday cards? Are you guys making them this year? Are you guys sending them this year? Are you deciding that 2020 and I'm calling it the year of the asterisk. I think everything's going to just have an asterisk next to it. So if you are nerdy like me and you keep a spreadsheet with all of your past Christmas card lists and all that good stuff, is there just going to be an asterisk by this one? Because you know what? No, it's just not happening. It's 2020. And that's just the way I'm going to do it. Let me know. For me, I am sending holiday cards, and my goal is to have them in the mail on December 1st. And there's a couple reasons for that. First, I'll just start with let's just be real here. It's been quite a year, but we did manage to move into a new house that was built from scratch, which was really exciting and fun. And it did make the quarantine, the major shutdown portion of the quarantine go a lot faster because we got to come up and visit our house every night. But that being said, I was really bad about sending out our new address to everybody because, you know, things just got kind of wonky and that's just the way it went. So I figure I should at least be the good friend and get my cards in the mail as early in the holiday season as possible. So you all have been helping me a great deal because every time I make holiday cards in these workshops, I add them to my stash. So I am down to having to make very few holiday cards when we get back from California. And we are going there next week. Alice already bought the stamps, so she needs to get them done, which is really awesome. I love the order in which you are doing things. Kathy Kelly already has 80 cards made, so she definitely gets the prize today. She is way ahead of me. All right, there we go. So this is project one, Especially For You, a nice little gift tag that you can put on a present. The next thing we're going to do, I'm just gonna knock off the most complicated one. This is the shaker card from the Right Triangle dies. So let me show you what I did. I took these ones. I don't even know what to call those ones. Feel free, if you're a geometry nerd, to tell me what it is, because I'd love to give it the right name. I'm just not really sure which triangle that is. But I took the largest one and not the next one, because here, I'll show you. I took this one and I took this one to make the frame for the shaker, because at first I did it the other way and I did this one and the border was way too thin. There was nothing that was no foam was gonna fit there. So I had to make the border a little bit bigger, but I really wanted to use these triangles. So I used the biggest one and then I skipped one and went down one more and made the outline. Then I took the big one again and I made the back of the shaker. And then I took this little guy right here and I ran it through on some scrap Sahara Sand, Cajun Craze, Night of Navy, and Seaside Spray, and just did that. I did one of these for every color, and it gave me that much stuff, which is great. So one for each color gives you this much, which is plenty to put in there. All right, so all we need to do now is just get our window sheet ready to go, and then we can put this together. So let's do that. Also, I think I'm going to add a little stamping to this because it's just kind of plain. So we're going to do, so there's that too. All right, I need to put this in my stack or I'm going to misplace it. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, we're going to make the shaker part first. So I have my border, I have my background, I need my window sheet. So you would think that I'm going to run this through the die cutting machine, but here's what I found. When I ran it through, it just got, the window sheet got really messy because I don't have any brand new, really clean plates right now. And since it got really messy, it doesn't look nice because you need it to be like not messy on your window sheet. I don't know how else to describe it, but that's what you need. So I'm going to put this along here so I don't have to cut there. And I'm just going to use this like a template, and I'm just using a permanent marker, and I'm going to cut inside the permanent marker so that my window sheet fits inside of this. So I'm going to put the cap on. I'm just going to take my paper scissors that I use, and like I said, I'm just going to cut inside this line, pretty close to it, but inside of it. And then I'm going to do the same over here, close to it, but inside. And that should give me a perfect window sheet to use with these dies. All right. So let's see how I did and see if I need to trim it all. Oh, I do. Okay. But it gave me the right shape. Okay. So I need to take a bit off. Not sure why this worked the first time. Oh, maybe I traced the inside. That would make sense. Okay. So don't do what I just did. Trace the inside. It works better. All right, I'm going to just get that little nib right there. And then what I'm going to do is move this over just a little bit so I know it's going to be a little smaller. Not sure why I'm talking so quiet, but I'm cutting and I don't want to cut my Cajun craze. I just want to cut my window sheet. There we go. Okay. So now this is going to work. Yes, now this will work. All right, so a little extra window sheet. And, oh, we'll put that there. We'll get it put away eventually. All right, so now what we need are these extra tall, long foam strips. Okay, these are Stampin' Up! Foam strips, and I am going to put them on the window sheet after I attach it. Hello. Let's get this right. Okay, so first what I'm going to do, actually, I think what I'm going to do, just to save time. Okay, so to make this one over here, this is what I did. Oh, Jenny, don't worry about being late. That's so sweet of you to apologize. What I did on this one is I used liquid glue, which is perfectly acceptable, except I just wanted this to set up really fast. So I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal to put my window sheet on. So I'm going to just run this down here like this and like that. Just make sure it doesn't have a lot there. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to put my window sheet. Oh, this is hard to see. Do it the other way. There we go. All right. I'm going to put my window sheet on here. And we have the top of our shaker card ready to go. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to put the foam sheet inside here. A little bit not like right on the edge of the blue, on the outer edge, a little bit in, but making sure that the whole thing, none of it shows through the window sheet. So I'm going to take this whole thing off, but I don't think I'm going to use the whole thing. So I'm going to butt this up against here so none of my sequins come out. And then I'm going to rip that off. That needs to be cut. But I can butt this one up. Make sure it's in the blue. There we go. All right. And then I can trim that one off. All right, so those are good. This one's a little bit long. I can save that. And now I'm gonna take these and just trim this little piece off here. So I'm gonna lift this back and trim this. Okay, so for those of you that are thinking about making your holiday cards or have already or whatever, what's your go-to color scheme this time? I already told you mine's going to be multifaceted because I'm using the cards that I've made during workshops. So, sorry, I'm going to have lots of different combos, but I would love to hear what you decided you're going to go with. I'm guessing Sue is going with greens. That one I'm fairly confident on. But other than that, and I'd love to know which green. But other than that, have you guys made any design decisions on what your greens are going to be, or your reds, or your blues? Leave a comment and let me know. All right. Traditional red, green, and white. I love it. That sounds beautiful, Karen. All right. So I'm laying this on here, and I have all my little shaker bits inside. And now, there we go. We have a shaker card. All right. So it's that easy. You just need to use those foam strips because it gives you a little bit of lift, so you make sure that your little bits can fly around. Window sheet so you can see them. And then just a frame on the outside and a backing on to keep it all together. All right, these two are scrap. Now let's see what we're going to do. Now we're going to take, I'm going to bring my Stamparatus back in, and I'm going to use the dry brush stamp. I'm just grabbing my other Stamparatus. I don't want to move that Santa hat around yet, only because I have something else I want to do with that. All right, so I have my other Stamparatus, and here we go. Kathy has some blue. Somebody else must have said blue because she's saying me too. I like that. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to take my Sahara Sand cardstock. If memory serves me right, I was using this corner as the setup. Yeah. So we're going to do this corner as the setup. I'm going to use a sticky sheet. These you can get on Amazon. Let me know if you want me to link them below. It's basically the low tack sticky sheet that you can get, and it works really well to just hold when you have a bigger piece of cardstock and you don't want it to lift up. And now I'm going to take my Sahara Sand ink, and I'm just kind of like you're doing direct to paper. I'm just going to wipe it on here. I'm going to go both ways. Kind of go like that. And then I'm going to take a paper towel because that's going to come out really dark. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit of ink, not a lot, and that'll pull a little bit. It's kind of like second generation stamping, but it's just a little easier to do it that way. Another tip I found, my wrists are starting to feel the pain of having done stamping for 20 years. So using a dry eraser helps you transfer your image without using your wrists as much. All right, and there we go. There's that dry brush stamp. I'm gonna put that right there. Wipe this puppy off. Although we are gonna use the same ink with it in a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so we have our base, we have our card, we have our shaker, we just need our greeting. All right, so I'm taking an 11 by 4 1/4, folding it in half at 5 1/2. I have my dry brush background, and I think that looks a lot better than the original. I'm liking that a lot more. Now I just need to take, I'm actually just gonna borrow one of these cards for my greeting, because we're just gonna freehand this greeting. This is the Happy B-Day from Happiest of Birthdays, that four stamp set that I absolutely love. This, to me, just like I have said before, it screams masculine. And I love using it. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a border on this one just to make it a little bit bigger, because I'm going to double stack the dimensionals to get this to work. If that doesn't make sense to you, you'll see what I mean in just a moment. Personal note, I am going to be, well, not just me, Bruce and I are going to California to visit the kids. They both live out there now. And so I am not going to be live next Wednesday. But I will make sure that when I return, I have lots of fun stuff to share. I have some things to work on while we're out there when the kids are at work. And I think they're things that you're going to be excited to enjoy. Not going to say any more. I've got things in the works and I'm excited about them. But anyway, we're going out to visit the kids, so I won't be live next Wednesday, but I will be back actually the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So while you're finishing off everything that you need to do, join me to celebrate the upcoming holiday. I think we're just going to do some quick and easy and fun birthday cards. I think that's going to be the theme. It's either going to be birthdays or thank yous, but something all occasion-ish, something that you could actually do both ways. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do like a this or that sort of thing where the card, like I'll make them before. Oh, I like this. Okay, tell me what you think. I'll make it in like a birthday version before, but then I'll make the thank you live, and then the next one I'll do it the other way. Or maybe I'll have a guy birthday version of it, and then on the live I'll make more of a pinks and purples kind of one. So we'll do something like that. We'll do a flip kind of workshop. I like that. And I'm gonna write it down as soon as I get this card finished so that I don't forget. So next Wednesday I'm away, but the following Wednesday I'm gonna do a flipped workshop. We'll do 3 projects where I show you one, but when that's not good. When I actually create it, it's going to be a flipped project. So since I got to talking, guess what I forgot to do? Would help a lot to be able to send this card if all the pieces were actually attached to one another. All right. Linked below, you will see that if you place a $35 order between now and Monday, I will send you a package of red rhinestones. This is what they look like. They're right there. I figured that you could probably use them for the holiday or maybe for Valentine's Day, which will be here before you know it. If you placed an order on either of the last 2 workshops, your packages are going in the mail tomorrow. If you shared the video 2 weeks ago, I said everybody was a winner, and those packages are also going in the mail tomorrow. So everything is headed to the post office tomorrow. It was just not a day to go to the post office today. All right, and then, so there's no adhesive here because this is so tall, and then these have 2, and that way, there we go. So there's our happy birthday. It's not even attached here, but it's not going to go anywhere because it's laying on there, and that's just a fun shaker card. So I definitely like it with the stamping more. I was going for the very plain masculine, but I think I took it too far. So this one I definitely like better. So this will be the one that you'll see in the blog post and all about this workshop. And it wouldn't be a fall Wednesday workshop without some kind of a holiday card. So we are going to do this with the right triangle. So I'm using my favorite Christmas shaded spruce and real red. And what I did, you do not have to listen to my die cutting machine over and over again. If you're looking at this going, oh my gosh, that's a lot of die cutting, you are correct. But let me show you what I did. So for the tree trunk in Early Espresso, I did the very, very smallest, skinniest. Yeah, I agree. I like the background stamp a lot better. Thanks, you guys. I'm going to actually do it on this one too. I did it lightly, but I'm going to do it more on this one. So this is an Early Espresso, smallest, skinniest rectangle. And then I did the same thing in Whisper White, and I stamped the Be Merry on it from the banner year. Then on the smallest isosceles triangle, that's the only one I remember, I stamped one of the backgrounds on a scratch piece of paper, and I cut out a small one from the, we'll call it the fern or the greenery. And then the next up one I did in shaded spruce. Then I used the polka dot background with the same triangle, but I went up one size to mat it on the shaded spruce. And then I used the super big stripe, and then I went up one size again to make the mat. And there you go. So that's how that goes together. I am going to use glue dots to put this together tonight. It's just going to be a little bit easier to put them in the corners and get this done. When I created the first card that I showed you at the beginning, which is still on camera, I used liquid glue to put this together. It takes a little time to set up, and it takes longer given that we have had nothing but rain all day today. So that's the biggest reason. If this was even just a normal night in Florida, I probably would be using liquid glue, but let me tell you, you can tell that it has been raining all day. So there we go. So this one goes on here. And then this one, this is just the speckles. So I hope that made sense. All I did was just stamp the triangle, this one, on scratch paper. Same with that, because the triangle fit inside. This is one of the background stamps, so I kind of just stamped it all over. A quarter sheet of Whisper White, and then I just cut out all the triangles that I needed. So you can see here, this is the stripe, this is the fern, and then this is that speckle background right there. And then I just used the triangles. All right, so now we're going to put our tree together. So I'm going to put a couple of these on my tree trunk. And I'm going to start with that. I don't want a lot to show. And I want this pretty much to be centered. So I'm going to move it over. I'm using the grid paper to kind of center it. And then just make the, oh, Kathy's getting my rain. So she's more in the middle of the state, and it's moving her way. Hopefully the wind has died down for you, Kathy, because that was pretty intense while it was coming through. All right, and now I'm going to go fairly low, but I want to go, let me talk you through this before I stick it down. So my goal, I don't want to go here because then you can't tell it's a tree. And that stuck down. I want to go up just enough to where you can tell it's a tree. And the reason that I don't want to go any higher than this is because I only have so much real estate on my card. So I don't want to, angle it too much. If you want to make a bigger card, then you could do the same thing I'm doing and make it a taller tree. You could also start from a smaller triangle, because there is one smaller than that, and make it really tiny if you want. So basically the way I'm figuring out to place this is as soon as I get to the point where I have enough sticking out that you can definitely tell this is a tree, I'm stopping. And then I'm just going to go on the back here and add a bunch of glue dots on each side so that it will totally stick down on the back of my trunk. And, oh, thanks, Jenny. All right. There we go. Okay. So, we're going to set this aside because I didn't do what I said. I didn't put the, okay, so glue dot side up. Going to grab this, put it on camera for you. We are going to take, okay, there is a reason, oh, there we go. There's a reason I have that inkstand there, and yet I can still manage to lose things. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up again. Tap slowly so the camera doesn't shake too much. Close it back up. Take my paper towel and just sort of gently rub all over just to pick up a little bit of the ink so it's not quite as bold. I can see my paper under here. I'm going to put it on. Let's see, it's right there. Actually, it was a little, oh well, we'll just go for it. There we go. It was a little short on this side, so I'm going to move it over just a little bit. Just a hair over here. I think that'll be better. If not, we'll flip it over and do the whole darn thing again. All right, so then I'm going to put that down. I'm going to take my dry erase eraser and just kind of rub. Oh, sorry, that glare is a lot. There we go. Pick it up. Oh, not enough over here. Yeah. Much better. A little bit down there. Nice. All right. Happy with that. Just going to angle this so that it comes up. We'll clean all that off later. And now what I'm going to do is take my tree and I'm going to center it this time. I'm centering it top to bottom, and I'm just going over, I don't know, just 1/4 of an inch because I know I'm going to add my Be Merry this way and I want to have enough room. That I'm going to use dimensionals on because once you add all those glue dots, this kind of gets it almost seems like there's dimensionals behind it because you have so many layers of cardstock. So it's got its own sort of lift to it. Take this one right here. There we go. All right. One, two, and 3. There we go. All right. So Be Merry, there we have it. We're going to put it on another Whisper White card base. That is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2 and folded. I am going to go ahead and use my Stampin' Seal to do the back, just for quick and easy. All right, and there we go. There is project 3 for the night. So thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I am looking forward to seeing the kids, but I will miss you guys next week. We'll be back together the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, at which point we'll do a flip workshop. I'm excited about that. Until then, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. If you place a $35 order between tonight and Monday, I will happily send you a package of the Real Red Rhinestones as my thank you for placing the order. You'll see the hostess code in the details below. You can also find links to my Stampin' Up! Shop along with Technique a Week and my blog below. So I hope you all have a great 2 weeks, and I will see you back here the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please click subscribe and the notification bell so that you know the next time that I post my video.